Question number 156. Mr. Pankaj, an unregistered person under GST, purchases the goods supplied by Mr. Raman, who is registered person without receiving a tax invoice from Mr. Raman, and thus helps in tax evasion by Mr. Raman. Pankaj is unregistered. Purchases goods supplied by Raman, who is registered, without receiving the tax invoice from Mr. Raman, and helps in tax evasion. So, here on Raman, the penalty will be 122 subsection 1 for making supply without invoice. For making supply without invoice, the penalty will be on Mr. Raman, 100% of the tax or 10,000, whichever is higher. But Pankaj, he is unregistered, he will not take any ITC, but he supported. So, because of which 122 subsection 3, person who supports, who is not a party to the, who is not the person who is committing the offence but a party to the offence. So, therefore, so on Mr. Pankaj, the penalty will be up to 25,000 under 122 subsection 3. So, what disciplinary action may be taken by tax authorities to curb such type of case on whom? This is about the penalty. Then imprisonment. So, invoice default leads to imprisonment. Okay. Invoice default leads to imprisonment. On Mr. Raman, there is an imprisonment, and that imprisonment depending upon the amount involved. So, if it is greater than 1 crore up to 1 year plus fine, greater than 2 crore up to 3 years plus fine, greater than 5 crores up to 5 years plus fine. In case of subsequent offence, it is up to 5 years plus fine. So, that will be taken, and even it will be leading to arrest. We can write depending upon the marks, we can write. If it is for 5 marks, we can write. So, even invoice default is an offence that leads to arrest. If the amount exceeds 2 crores, the person can be arrested. And when the amount exceeds 5 crores, so that is a cognizable and non-bailable offence. Otherwise, it is non-cognizable plus bailable offence. Like that, we can write. Okay. So, depending upon the marks which they are asking, we can write, because it is a generic question. Mainly penalty. So, for penalty purpose, I just gave you this question because, on the main person, it will be penalty under 122 subsection 1. On the supporting character, that is like in, usually crime and all, A1, A2, A3, like that it will come. A1 is the main culprit. On A1, 122 subsection 1. On A2, A3 and all, the penalty will be under 122 subsection 3. Okay.